And by the way, talk of inflation. The overwhelming consensus is going to pop up a little bit and then go back down. No one's talking about this great, Taking blame for inflation? No.
Why not?
Because it was already there when I got here, man. Remember what the economy was like when I got here?
Wow. That is hard to watch.
Yeah. And all it took was a slight decline to make him look foolish.
25th Amendment in Section 4 says that the Vice President in the Cabinet or the Vice President in a body set up by Congress can determine that there's presidential incapacity for reasons physical or mental.
He drinks water or any glass with two hands.
But as Sanjay also says, there are a lot of questions around the president's physical fitness, him having trouble lifting a water glass to his mouth. He had to use his left hand to basically finish helping his right arm guide it to his mouth.
I talked to a bunch of neurologists over the weekend. A lot of people talking about this.
Trump is not known for being athletic, has a hard time going down a gently sloping ramp.
Chocolate chip.
At the audio of Donald Trump talking about the classified documents he's not supposed to have. So here, check it out.
Want Trump to get in the position where he thinks he's about to buy onto a policy where the financial system is going to collapse and he's going to be looked to pour more money into Ukraine. That's how he'll think about it before he gets sophisticated enough to know the detail.
In other words, Biden does not want Ukraine asking for more money from Trump.
If it is true that FBI working with him, at least I want to know that.
No, they are not. I told you the FBI concluded he had nothing and they stopped. That was it. There's no reason to talk to him again.
Okay.
It's like, it's actually Joe Biden talking with one of his co-conspirators about how he doesn't want Donald Trump to find out about his bribe money that he's getting from Ukraine. And the second one is Biden talking to the former president of Ukraine about how the former president of Ukraine is concerned that one of his aides is cooperating with the FBI. And Joe Biden assures him, don't worry, the FBI, they're in on it. Don't worry about that. It's amazing how everything that they accuse Donald Trump of doing, they do themselves. Remember, United States not a democracy or a constitutional republic. It's an elected monarchy. Keep your mind sharp. Don't listen to media. This Script podcast out.
Based on what they've seen, I think these are very different.
Oh, no. Not feel. No. It's not feel. Understand this. It is not feel. That is a fact. Hillary Clinton's documents, her emails were subpoenaed.
So tell me, based on this indictment here. They were subpoenaed by the Oversight Committee.
She destroyed them. Joe Biden took classified material as a United States senator. I'm a United States congressman. I am not allowed to remove classified documents. He took them as a United States senator. They were all over the place. That is a violation, actually, of the Espionage Act. And so there's been no talk, no dissemination, no investigation of any of those things.
So here's what I don't understand, though.
Moves at warp speed.
And I don't mean to interrupt you.
I just want anything. Those are the facts.
We're going to end and we're going to help. We have plans to build a railroad from the Pacific all the way across the Indian Ocean. We have plans to build in Angola, one of the largest solar plants in the world. I can go on, but I'm not. I'm going off script. I'm going to get in trouble. Look at how he steps and look how I step. Watch how I run up ramps and he stumbles down ramps, okay? Come on.
He's at the Air Force Academy. He actually fell down. Well, I hope he wasn't hurt. But it's the whole thing is crazy. You got to be careful about that. Because you don't want that. Even if you have to tiptoe down a ramp, you got to.
And now I'm standing next to the president again, next to a collapsed bridge here, and he is here to commit to work with the governor and the delegation to make sure that we get this fixed quick, fast as well, too. This is a president that is committed to infrastructure. Yeah, and then on top of that, the dual kind of law of the inflation bill that is going to make sure that there's going to be bridges all across like this, all across America getting rebuilt.
Of criminal conduct. And yesterday, the FBI finally provided Congress with the goods.
This document also stipulates that, according to the confidential human source, that money was being moved through several accounts, multiple accounts, to get to Joe Biden. And what we're talking about now is the current president of the United States, documented by FBI, has been taking money from foreign sources in a pay-for-play scheme to actually get things enacted in other countries. If he was doing it as vice president, what's he doing as president?
On the same day the Biden administration said they were going to put Trump in prison, we learned about a document the FBI has been sitting on for years. The allegation in the document says Joe Biden's been selling out our country for cash. Sources tell Fox News Digital that a Ukrainian businessman at Burisma paid Joe Biden $5 million in bribes while he was vice president. What was the bribe for? To fire the prosecutor investigating Burisma. And here's the smoking gun. Burisma emailed Hunter asking for a list of deliverables from high-ranking U.S. officials in Ukraine with the ultimate purpose to close down any cases against Burisma's founder and former president. There it is, laid out as clear as day. Burisma says fire the prosecutor, Biden fires the prosecutor. The informant says Burisma paid Joe Biden $5 million for it. And what do you know? Biden bragged about it.
We're not going to give you the $1 billion. They said, you have no authority. You're not the president. The president said, I said, call him. I said, I'm telling you, you're not getting the $1 billion. I said, you're not getting the $1 billion. I'm going to be leaving here. And I think it was, 6 hours? I looked, I said, I'm leaving in 6 hours. If the prosecutor's not fired, you're not getting the money. Oh, son of a got fired.
The Burisma executive even told the informant that he sent the $5 million through a maze of shell companies, so it didn't look like it was going to Joe. That's exactly how the Chinese structured their bribes. Same exact way. Biden's corruption is as real as the pictures on Hunter's laptop, which, by the way, keep on coming by the thousands. Most of them we can't show you, but there's pics of Hunter with hookers, doing drugs, receipts for fancy suits, him driving 175 miles an hour. When does the Biden family's reckless behavior finally catch up with them? How long can this filthy family get away with these sleazy games? They're throwing it in our faces at this point. Are you going to take that, America? Are you going to be represented by this kind of corrupt trash? Are you going to keep being surprised that a plagiarist is lying to you? Congressman James Comer has already shown us that half the Biden family was on the take, banking millions on China's payroll. And now he's subpoenaed only one bank. There's another 10 to go. And now we got this $10 million bribe from the Ukrainians. Biden's taunting us. Well, where did the money go? Buddy, it's in your family's bank accounts. Or it's in a bunch of shell companies we haven't gotten to yet. Biden's like the most reckless man in Washington, and that's saying a lot. He thinks he can just take bribes for years, flaunt the law, punish his enemies, and never get in trouble? Why? Because he thinks you're not going to pay attention. Listen.
One of the things Republicans say is a priority for them is investigating your family, your son Hunter, your brother Jim. They talk about access that they say others have gotten because of you, because of your political success. How do you plan to deal with that?
The public's not going to pay attention to that. They want these guys to do something. If the only thing they can do is make up things about my family, it's not going to go very far.
He can't keep getting away with this. His family can't keep getting away with this. Who's going to stop him? It's not the FBI. It's not the IRS. It's not the U.S. attorney in Delaware, who's been slow-walking Hunter's case for 5 years. Trump's case takes, 4 months? Hunter's gone 5 years now, still ticking? It's up to congressional Republicans, but I don't even know if they're going to do it. What are they doing? Well, they saw the smoking gun FBI document yesterday. Are they drafting articles of impeachment? Did they go home for the weekend? The Constitution says it plain and simple. You can impeach a president for high crimes, treason, and bribery.
Well, I'm not sure you should assume I'm not corrupt, but thank you for that, though. Well, I'm not sure you should assume I'm not corrupt, but thank you for that, though.
Oh, do I have some great news. We got phone calls. We got phone calls of Joe Biden with that Ukrainian national. Apparently, this bribery scheme is all caught on tape. Chuck Grassley, the senator from Iowa, laid it out.
That the foreign national who allegedly bribed Joe and Hunter Biden allegedly has audio recordings of his conversation with them. 17 such recordings. According to the 1023, the foreign national possesses 15 audio recordings of phone calls between him and Hunter Biden. The foreign national possesses 2 audio recordings of phone calls between him and then Vice President Joe Biden. These recordings were allegedly kept as a sort of insurance policy for the foreign national in case that he got into a tight spot.
So now the question is, what does all this mean? What does it mean for Joe Biden and the Biden crime family? What does it mean for President Trump? What does it mean for the weaponized Justice Department that ignored all of this? They had the FBI forms that spelled it out for years. They've been covering for the Biden administration. This FBI covering for the Bidens has to end, and it has to end now. Republicans in Congress, get on this, get on it quickly, and let's impeach Joe Biden.
We now have black and white evidence that the FBI interfered in the 2016 election. And then when they failed to get their candidate elected, Hillary Clinton, then they just set out to destroy the Trump administration. So then go up to 2020. It was the CIA this time that got involved in the 2020 election with those 51 former intel agents who talked about the Hunter Biden laptop as total Russian disinformation. So they've gotten away with it for 2 elections. They're for sure going to get away with it, try to get away with it in 24, right? Because there's no consequence. The difference is in 2024, the evidence is there. We now have the Durham investigation. We have all the congressional investigations. There is now hard evidence that there was election interference by the U.S. intelligence agencies and the Department of Justice. They've got to be terrified, those individuals have to be terrified that a Republican president comes in the 2024 election with a Republican attorney general, investigates them and charges them all with the crimes they've committed over the last 8 years.
This is the big immigration number Biden is hiding from you. So the same number of illegal and inadmissible aliens are still entering the U.S. The Biden administration is just diverting over 60,000 per month to a different line. So the inadmissible aliens are following directions. They're going through the ports of entry. And that's why we now see 90,000 inadmissible aliens entering the U.S. through the ports of entry, where we used to see only 20,000 a month. They are literally telling migrants who are about to cross illegally between the ports and claim fear, withdraw your claim, don't cross here, go to a port of entry, use this Mobile One application, and we'll let you in. The Biden administration is doing this because no one looks at the port numbers nationwide. Usually people just look at the Border Patrol numbers. If the Border Patrol encounter numbers are better, that makes the Biden administration look better. But really, it's just lipstick on a pig.
4 more years of Georgia, he's going to find ourselves in a position where...
What a mess. What a mess. No, he called me George. I don't know if I should be insulted or happy about it. I'm sort of insulted. It's the first time that's happened to me in a long time.
Hey, we gotta get Joe out of office ASAP, yo, man, for real. Gas too high. That's why gas too high. Gas too high. That's why gas too high. Can't fill up my tank. That's why gas too high. Can't fill up my. That's why gas too high. Democrats, they tryna break me, Pockets, they looking so vacant, Lefties, I know they love Satan, They want me to sell, I come make me, Gas is way too expensive. Look at the prices, that is offensive. When we had Trump, we didn't have this. Get him in office, handling your business, Yeah, gas is almost like $7 a gallon. If you ain't got money, then I guess you walking. You better check your balance. You can blame Joe for the reason why you ain't ballin'. Gas is way too high, my tank on EEE. Inflation is crazy. Joe, he be spending our money, that shit ain't free, yeah. Gas too high. That's why gas too high. Gas too high. That's why gas too high. Can't fill up my tank. That's why gas too high. Can't fill up my. That's why gas too high.